Hello and welcome to, I guess, the Oh, I gotta mute that. Whoops. Welcome to the rewind. I am joined by the pride of the OPL, Pabu, straight from Korea. You're sitting like in your little goblin hut, looking real nice. How you going, Jackson?
I'm great. I'm great. I've had a lovely day. How are you?
Yeah, not too shabby. I just got home from the office. And yeah, I'm doing well, mate. Thanks for asking. So for those of you that don't know, Jackson Pavone Parbu is in Korea. He's doing a boot camp there. He's by himself. He's all alone in the world. Is it cold there?
It's actually pretty warm. Some nights are cold, but for the most part, usually it's like 22 degrees during the day
Uh
and it
huh.
goes down to like 15, 18 during the night. So it's actually pretty warm.
Damn man, when I was there, it was cold all the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
Um,
snowing last time I was here, but it's pretty nice now.
yeah. So Jackson is in master tier currently. Um, working on his game. Although we don't put a heavy emphasis on elo on these boot camps, but just I know there's gonna be people that are like, hey, what LP is Jackson? Because I think like because there's a correlation between LP and being an extremely good player sometimes.
We're a little hard stuck at the moment,
Yeah.
so
Hey, you gotta be stuck, hard stuck to get unstuck and move forward. Do you know what I mean?
we're just focused on improve.
Yeah, I don't really know what I mean by that, but like you know how you think of something in your head and it's really funny and then it's you
When you
say it out
actually
loud.
say it, it's
Yeah.
disappointing. Everyone looks at you funny and you're just like, ah.
In the wise words of Jackson Pavone, it's giga funny, man. Giga. I can't believe I said that once. I said that once in the office and I was like, wait, what am I doing?
Oh no.
Yeah,
My vocabulary is infecting you.
it is. It's actually a virus, and I need antibiotics. I need to get rid of the giga gaming talk real quick. So before we start, before we like really get into the gist of it, I will just let everyone know that if you have any questions for either myself or Jackson, then put it in the chat. I'll get it, copy and paste it to a document, and then we'll answer it at the end. So I'm not gonna stop like in between, but we will answer it right at the end. So basically that means you gotta stick around, and bad luck for you. Um, so yeah. So Jackson, first of all, I'll call you Pabu just in case.
Yeah,
First
yeah,
of
all right.
all, what made you want to go to Korea?
Well, for the most part, it's like the middle, like the break in the middle, the off season it's really long. There's a lot of time, and it's like a lot of people take holidays, and so the solo queue in US typically takes a bit of it. It's like it's a bit rough. It's not so good. There aren't so many pros. The quality isn't that high, and everyone comes here to practice, and the Koreans never take a break. So I was like, you know, if I want to keep working, like that was like the next step that I needed to do. I needed to go to Korea because it would, allow me to work on myself the best. I was pretty bored back in Australia, and I was like, you know what, like let's get back to work. Let's start fixing myself.
Yeah, and then you got to play games with players like me in the off season because I'm one game from D1 and I'm top 500 on the server. So if we queue at the right time, you're gonna have me as your jungler buddy, and you're not getting any buffs, any jungle camps or any assistance.
I
Um,
mean, if you carry me, it's all right.
yeah. By the way, yeah. I just read what Tone said. You know that karma you were versing in chat
Yeah, yeah.
was Maknoon?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I knew it was Magnet. Like, I
Oh,
didn't know it in the game, but like when I tweeted the clip, I knew it was. I'm sorry. No, it's Cookie. Cookie looked at the clip and told me like, you know that Karma's Macnoon, and then I ended up playing against him a bunch of times, and he's just really frustrating.
oh,
He's just he's just a brain dead Karma one trick that just runs at you and just hits your head the
no.
entire game.
In Korea, when we were in there in a boot camp last year, Hongju was like raging at his computer one game, and I was like, "Wait, why are you raging?" Because there was just some guy with a Korean name, and I couldn't read it. And he's like, and
Yeah.
and, and his karma top on his team that was like first item Randuin's, then Frozen Heart was like was Maknoon, and he's just like like pretty much saying he's always trolling. He just always trolls my games, and he was so angry. And that was my first experience with Maknoon's karma top.
It's very interesting. He used to be an Alawi one trick, and now he's moved on to Karma.
Did he
His
did he all chat you when you slayed him?
No,
Yeah.
no, no. He didn't say anything. I haven't seen him type.
Mm.
Mate, I think he's known for typing and raging, but like
Oh really?
in most of my games, he's been fairly chill and just kind of dies a lot.
Yeah, I mean he died 1v1. There's not much for him to say, is there? I mean,
I
that
mean,
is like a pure 1v1 where you just can't flame anyone. Like, yeah,
he made a lot of mistakes as well, so just unlucky, I guess.
yeah, just unlucky gaming. Um, so then you went to Korea, you got there, you arrived, you're probably like lack of sleep because your flight, and usually the best times to go are like in the AM and late night and things like that. Is there an adjustment period not only for like in terms of living but playing the game? Because for context, like when I went, my first like I reckon 5 games, I was like hella nervous, and I was like, wait, I was expecting something different, like completely different.
Yeah, well, for like the time zone isn't too bad. It's only an hour different from Australia, but the flight always messes you up
Yeah.
because it takes a long time. So your sleep's doomed for a couple of days. So you do have to fix that, and then you have to like, for some people, like Korean food is, like a lot harder on the stomach for them. For me, it's fine. I love spicy food, but it does take a bit of getting used to. Um, but for the most part, I always struggle at the start. Like, I'm not sure what it is, but in like Korean D5, or like it took me 3 promos to get out of plat one. Like, I don't know what it was, but like just that point when I'm just starting playing and I'm playing with like absolute trash cans, but I'm just getting dumpstered by like Heimerdinger one tricks over and over again. Like,
Don't yeah. Aren't when you start on those accounts, aren't your games like Diamond 2? I remember my first few games were like Diamond 2, and then I lost, and then because I just wasn't expecting like the caliber of like player in D2,
yeah,
D1.
yeah, yeah. I was playing versus like Diamond Fours at
Okay.
the start,
Yeah.
and then after a couple games, I was in like D2 games. But like they're all there's like Ignite Pantheon one tricks, Ignite Rengar one tricks, and just all these like strange players that play like so fast that if you're not like used to Korea, they just smack you around for a bit, even if you're a good player. So there's always like a period of time where you're like getting used to actually playing the early game a lot like harder. There's so much more activity in the early game, and so many more like skirmishes that you have to walk through. They're like, if you try and play like you play in OS, you will get punished even by lower tier players.
Is it a myth? Is players like rage quitting and leaving the game a lot earlier a myth? Is it just as bad as O's, or what's the go? Like, because like you
I
talk about early games being such a focus, right? So if you stuff up early game, is it really just open mid?
I mean it's like yes, but the games are always over by the time someone actually opens. People will say open, but still play the game normally.
Okay.
Like I'd say the amount of like ruined games are like fairly similar. Like here, it's just if the game's 8-0, like people will just open because every lane is down 2 kills and everyone's tower is dying at 10 minutes. Like they will just let them walk down mid. Like
I
there's
I
no
keep
yeah.
going. No, you keep going.
But like in OS, there's still a similar amount of ruined games. There's just a lot of players that have the attitude of never give up, never surrender, and just drag it out to 30 minutes, even though the game's lost.
Yeah, believe it or not, I actually found myself less tilted in Korean solo queue, and games ended a lot earlier. And it was like because if it was open, it was open, and I just played a game again like the next 5 seconds, or like 10 seconds of
Yeah,
queue.
it's like you don't end up stuck in like painful experiences,
Yeah,
and like
and and the
where it's
pro
just completely unwinnable.
and I think the problem, or like the not the problem, but the thing is like it's a dilemma of two sides of a spectrum. Like the one side where you've got like your random solo queue teammates that literally play the game for fun, that like want to just win this game, which is completely fair for them to play out for like 45
Yeah, yeah,
minutes
yeah.
and then lose. But then on the other side of the spectrum, like you are learning nothing. Even if you win this game, you have learned absolutely nothing because like you shouldn't have won this game. Like it's
Yeah, it's like if you win, it's because the enemies were bad, not because you really did anything.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Wait, let me go look at my account. I'm like 260, 270 games deep, and I probably have like maybe 5 games that I can recall where we FF'd a game that wasn't over.
Right, yeah.
Like,
That happened to me a
so
couple
like,
of times too, yeah. I actually like sometimes you frustration slash FF and then you forget you're in
and then
you're in
everyone
Korea and
smacks
then everyone
yes.
votes yes and you're like wait, this game was like
Alright.
hella winnable.
Yeah, yeah, no, I've had very few like winnable games given up, but
Yeah,
it's people are very willing to just go into the next one.
that's the difference I guess.
It's
Uh
very efficient, so
yeah,
it's
okay,
like
yeah.
everyone assumes that people will be like wasting games, like just FFing games that aren't over, but it's usually pretty good.
Mm. Okay. And then that leads to kind of the next thing I was going to ask you, but what is the solo queue like? I mean, you already kind of touched on it, but like, if you had to, yeah, what is it like?
It's like the game is just so much more active, I'd say. Like
Mm-hmm.
level one, something happens every game, no matter what. Like someone pings somewhere and we all walk somewhere, and there's usually a map split every game because one team has walked into the jungle and they've either
Wait,
5v5 level one, or you're in their jungle and you can't walk back into your jungle.
you
Like
genuinely just reminded me. Every single Korean game I played in, I would spam ping invade level one. I was like T-Gun TV overseas, and legitimately they would
everyone will
all
come
be
with you.
ready.
Yeah.
5 people bought items, and then I played like 5 games in OS last night, and like 1 minute 25, people are leaving base. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not uncommon.
Yeah, it's
I've
crazy.
I've been flamed a lot because like I'll go wash my hands as soon as the loading screen starts, and everyone has really fast PCs, so like I'll be like 15 seconds late, and they'll just like question mark ping me, and I'm like, come on, man.
Hey, do you want
Like,
to tell people your pre-game routine and what you do on the OPL stage sometimes?
well, I mean, a lot of the time, like I feel really uncomfortable if my hands aren't. It's not that they're like sticky, but just like I don't know, like if I like run my hands through my hair or something, would just absentmindedly do that. I'm like, all right, I need to wash my hands. It's like makes me uncomfortable to play. And so when you're on stage, like at home, it's easy. I walk over to the sink, which is like 5 meters from my computer, and I can wash my hands. But when you're on stage, you go on stage and you do all your testing and stuff, and you're ready to go, and you can't leave the stage,
Yeah,
and
once
you're
you're
just like,
locked in, you're locked in. The seatbelt's on.
you're just like, we're strapped in for today, lads. And so
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, what do I have with me? I'm like, oh, I have a water bottle. You know, I can just wash my hands. So it's just dumping a little bit of water on stage to wash my hands to make sure that I'm good to go.
yeah,
It's
that's
a
you're a madman. I look at you every time you do it.
suboptimal routine.
Yeah, I look at you every time you do it, and it never gets easier.
It's like, I don't know. It's been on camera a few times, and
Has it?
I'm just like, yeah. And so I just, is he washing his hands? And I'm just like, huh,
Well, at least people
fair
know that
enough.
when they meet you, they can shake your hand because you're a real cleanly boy.
Hell yeah. I
Uh,
mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Like when I'm at home, I wash my hands like 15, 20 times a day. It's not like a compulsion. It's just something that's just like a routine for my
No,
gaming. I don't know.
it's kind of weird because Praedyth actually does the exact same thing. Praedyth every single game solo queue, he has to wash his hands before he plays.
Yeah,
And
but it's not like like it's not my hands being clean. I'm not like compulsive about that. Like I don't really care if my hands are dirty, you know?
I love how this
Like
is turned into a hand washing stream.
it's like it's only about video games. It's not about anything
Yeah,
else.
I think Praedyth's the same. Maybe you two should link up and talk about hand washing techniques. Um,
One of the cleanest hands in the league.
yeah. So, what have you been working on then? Like,
Well,
what's your? I mean, without giving away too much, I don't want you to
yeah.
train enemy top laners. But what have you been working on?
For like Well, by virtue of being in Korea, your like general awareness goes up, and like your mechanics are tested more because you're put into more micro situations because there's more activity early, and just like you get better as an individual player. And for the most part, like the main thing I've been focusing on is like adjusting how I play the game according to the state of the map. And so like in OS, it's very easy to just like kind of autopilot through your games because people don't really do a whole lot. Like if the enemy bot is winning, it's very unlikely their support walks top. Like it just doesn't happen. But here, if the enemy like bot lane 2v2 kills my bot lane and
Mm.
my bot lane can't do anything, it's very likely that their support will walk like top side out of base and try and kill me. And so like making sure that everything I do is according to how like the state of the map is like probably my main focus for
Mhm.
Korea, and just making sure that I'm like aware of everything that's occurring and like making sure that everything I do is in accordance with the best way to win the game from that point.
That sounds like a legitimately and solid plan. Um,
It's pretty vague,
it
but it's
is
also
vague, but
very
like, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you to tell them, hey, I am
yeah.
focusing on, I think I'm really weak here, and therefore I need to, like, like, yeah, I'm not asking you
Yeah,
to.
it's pretty vague point, but it's also you can apply it to every decision you make in the game. So it's very useful as a tool for learning, in
I
my opinion.
Do you know when I went on my 19 match win streak in Korea to like
Yeah,
master to nearly master promos, I
yeah,
the only thing I focused on, because I didn't want to focus on like so much because I was very flustered with like how my solo queue was going. All I focused on was dying less. Legitimately dying less, because you know how like you could say, "Oh, hey Decoy, how you going, buddy?" Um, you could so you know how there's like some players you like die less and then they do nothing and then they're worse than when they were dying more. With me,
yeah.
that was never going to be a problem because like I was always going to like do something. So just me focusing on dying less made me play so much better. And I didn't realize how, like just by not dying how much more XP I had, how much more gold I had, how much more like stuff I could participate in. It's crazy. Sounds silly, but you never really think
It
about
does
it.
it does sound silly, but I guess I'm the same type of player because I'm always looking for like the flashy big play.
Yeah.
So when you stop going for the dumb ones, it's like your level of like successful players just skyrockets, and the amount of games you win is like much higher.
Dumb one gaming, huh? Um anyway, so is there a difference? Well, I guess you've kind of answered that as well, mate. Good on you. But the difference between Korean players and Ost players, what you said it before.
It's just yeah, high mechanics, high activity. Everyone actively wants to do something. I don't think I've seen a Cassidon. I don't think I've seen a like Nasus. I don't think I've seen like no one plays to scale.
Mm,
Like it doesn't exist. Like I haven't seen like a Kane. Like you have to pick to be able to win the game.
yeah.
Like everyone wants agency, so everyone's trying to do things, and it makes the game a lot more fun because you just get to do more things. Just it's like if your champ's a scaling champ, it's like this champ scales to one item, and then you go like that's like the latest thing. I've seen like I swear Corky's like broken right now, but I've seen like four in my entire time here. So like just like
I
there's so little willingness to give up early game. It's so much fun to just like fight.
just want to throw it out there. When I was in Korea, I played Corki into RNG, or it used to be RNG Ming's Zoe, and I did solo kill him. So I'm just going to say two off rolls. I'm the better off roll player than Ming. Um, just putting that one out there for everyone.
Weird flex, but alright.
And so would you recommend Korean boot camps for all players, like in OS or OCS or OPL? Like, what would you when would you recommend a Korean boot camp to someone? And does it have anything to do with mindset?
I think that Korean boot camps are very helpful. Both like for me, my first one was very helpful in developing the mindset that I have nowadays. Like it definitely brought me to the realization that I'm not as bad as I thought I was.
Mhm.
Like didn't get like ahead of myself, but going to Korea the first time made me realize that I'm capable of like contesting players that are very good, and it's like the reasons they are good don't show up in a single game. They show up over thousands of games because they have good habits, and they're not going to win every game, but they're going to win more than you.
But this is
And so
probably excluding like Chovy and standouts,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like
There's
this is
there's of
just the
course there's
average.
standouts that
Yeah,
just ruin you,
you're
but
talking
like
about like the average roll of the dice, like Korean player or LCS player or something like that.
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm talking more like middling like LCK
Yeah.
players. And so like what I thought is like okay, I can like beat these people on a game to game basis, and then
Mhm.
I'm like all right. So if I can do that, then there's no reason why with a bit more work and better practices, like that I can't achieve what I want to achieve. So
So
that's
someone in O said once that you shouldn't
yeah.
go to Korea unless you pretty much in layman's terms, unless you get like rank one or pretty much like do everything you can in OS first. Or do you think that you can take away different things from being in Korea without being like max rank or a really high rank in OS?
I agree to an extent. I do think that there are things you can do to improve in OS, but I do think that, if you can achieve probably like top 50 in OS, like it's fine to go to Korea. If you can't achieve top 50 in OS, or I don't, there's like not a specific number, but
Mm.
like there's gonna be like a point where it's just worthwhile to save your money and stay in OS and work on yourself
Mhm.
before you actually like can get as much as you can get out of Korea.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
It's you definitely need to have like a certain level. Korea does make you improve faster, but it's quite like I don't know. It's intense and it's like hard on the brain if you're not prepared for it, and especially if you're like not like elite solo queue player and you're not top five, like it's gonna be rough the first time you come. So I do think that mindset's also very important. Like if it's very easy to just get like absorbed in the grind and tilt and just play for wins and never improve
Mhm.
because it's like Korea, like Korean LP is like hella clout. So like everyone just wants to get high rated. So it's very easy to just get absorbed into it. But it's also like getting absorbed into it isn't too bad as long as you don't let it control you. Like if you're climbing, you're probably learning. So
Yeah, well, there was
it's
times in Korea where I didn't go out or didn't do anything because I wanted to play, and that's like I think that's like a negative consumption. I think like it's healthy to go out once or twice, even though you're there for the game.
yeah. It's like if you are just perma grinding the game and you have nothing to do but play the game, you will play the game even when you shouldn't,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like if you make sure to actually like do things in the country and go get food and explore, like you will do those things and you're like, all right, sick, I really want to play the game now.
yeah,
But
yeah.
if you have no option but to just sit there and play, you're going to get into like a negative headspace where you're just gonna play even if you're upset or tired or sad or just like not in the correct space to improve.
Me and the older boys went out for a big bloody night when we were in Korea, mate. That's all, I'll tell you that much.
Hell
So
yeah.
what was your favorite thing that you've done whilst you've been over there? Because I know you've done a couple things. I've seen a few videos that you've been recording on. Shout out Ashley Kang. I saw you doing some camera work there. But yeah, what have you been doing? Yeah, what's going on?
I don't know. There's just a lot of good food where I am. I'm in Hongdae, which is basically like
Is that the
it's like
uni district?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we went out there. That's
It's
where
like
we went clubbing.
no, it's the walk from my accommodation to my net cafe is probably 500 meters,
Okay.
and there's at least 10 clubs on the way.
Yeah, dude,
Like
Hongdae is. I would recommend everyone to go
it's
to Hongdae.
it's so dense.
Yeah.
There's just so much stuff here. There's
And there's
there's
like
like
you think it ends and then you see a high
there's just
rise and there's
more.
clubs. Like it's clubbing up in a high rise, like you know what I mean?
My net cafe is on top of a club. Like it's ridiculous. Like it's there's just so much stuff out. I haven't actually been like properly clubbing yet,
Yeah.
but like there's for me it's mostly just been food. I don't know. I've
Hey,
enjoyed a lot of the food here.
I'm not endorsing my players to go out and have big nights, but like you should go out and enjoy and explore. Um,
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of like there's so many places to drink here. It's absurd.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, yeah. It's a good Korea. Korea is definitely one of my most favorite countries I've been to. Um,
Yeah, like you go to the convenience store down the road and there's giant ass bottles of beer for like 3 AUD.
well,
You
also
just
and also I don't remember. I didn't even stay in Hongdae, and I don't
yeah.
remember. I don't remember where I stayed. I don't remember many places' names because I think they're a little bit sometimes a bit hard to say. But Hongdae is the one place I remember because it was such a good time. So and I remember the not the English translation, but like it was very easy for people to like if I said to people, "Hey, that spoke English, like do you know where the uni district is or the school district?" They'd be like, "Oh, like Hongdae," and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, okay, cool." And it's like one
Yeah,
train.
yeah,
And a fun fact, actually, where we were staying, I don't know if it's all places, and I don't know if it's where you are, but like that at certain times in peak time in the city or like in main areas, there's like a bus only lanes for like so it's like so efficient to take a bus. Like you could take bus in peak hour and there's no traffic because no one is allowed in this lane of bus. So it was like real cool. That's when we went to like the old OGN stadium. I don't know what it
yeah.
was
Yeah, I
called.
haven't I haven't used any buses here because they look intimidating. But
Ah, okay.
I've stuck to the subway. I went to I think it's called Hangang. It translates to Riverside,
Yeah,
and it's like there's the pictures I put up on my Twitter before.
there's
It's
Pog.
like a real touristy area. There's like at the beach like really popular beaches. There's just like hundreds of tents.
Yeah.
It was like that, but just in like a park next to the river.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a bunch of Koreans in tents just having like picnics in their tents. And it
Hey,
was yeah.
I ain't gonna say no to that. If next time I go, I
It looked
might
it
try
looked
that.
really nice.
Yeah.
And it was like there was a bunch of really good street food there, and I got like rice cakes, and there was street food, and then there was like 4 carts of just like cocktail vendors.
Oh,
They just like mix you a drink
I'm not sure if
like
I'll try those.
at the park at like 2
Yeah,
p.m.
don't know if I'll try those ones. I'll tell you that much. Have you been to any?
It
Did
was
you go to any markets? Because I bought like 15 pairs of Gucci socks for like $10. It was sick.
Yeah, I've bought a lot of clothes so far. I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna go shopping again before I leave.
Yeah,
Like
nice.
the place, like I basically live like next to like a ridiculous amount of clothes stores.
Oh
So
well,
yeah, it's pretty
there
nice here.
goes Jackson's salary, I guess. Um, what's your favorite food since you've been there?
My favorite food, I like tteokbokki. I like rice cakes. I'm a
Oh
big
really?
fan of rice cakes. Yeah.
Yeah. I liked
Uh,
I think I butcher the pronunciation, but I like Gabi.
yeah. It's
It's
I
like
see it. It's just I think it's just like a type of beef,
yeah, it's
right?
beef soup kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
real hectic. I'm a big fan of soups. I like kimchi soup. I like garbis, and that's why I told Harry, I go, man, like learn how to make garbi, and then you can cook dinner for the boys. Because
um,
Harry worked in a Korean restaurant, so I was like, man, learn how to make Korean food, bro.
he worked in a career, and he doesn't cook for
Yeah,
us.
well, he was taking orders.
Wait,
He didn't work in the back.
this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
But anyways,
it's. I can't believe you lived with him and you didn't know that.
he's dogged us.
Yeah, he's dogged the boys real hard on
But
that one. Um, so before we finish up, like, what's the kind of like? Do you have an end game, end the goal in career, or is it just to notice that you've improved? Like, what is it?
I don't know. I don't really like. It's mostly just making sure that my process is good. You know,
Mhm.
like I don't know. I'll be happy if I. It's not. It's very hard to like quantify the improvement that I will make here.
Mhm.
So it's like I don't really have any objective goals, but as long as I feel like I did my best to improve, then that's like I stuck to what I did, and if I guess that's basically it. If I feel like I stuck to my process and it was good, then I'll be happy with my time in Korea.
And you've also won the OPL in Split too. That's what I heard anyway.
I mean, that's the plan.
Yeah, I heard you won it. That's really from a good source.
Good sauce. All right,
Yeah,
I'll take it.
kimchi sauce. Um, And so I have 3 questions. If anyone has any questions, put them in the chat right now. But so far, what I have from One Up Be Friends is, what do you feel you get out of boot camping in Korea? Which I think we touched on, but like, if you had to sum it up, what do you get out of it?
Mostly, it's just it feels like your brain just gets bigger. Like you just absorb more information, and you're exposed to so many more scenarios that you don't always see in O solo queue that just make you think about the game in different ways. Like every game I have to check like R5v5, and I have to check the top side 2v2 or top side 3v3 or bot side 3v3 or 4v4, just to think about like what they might do, where they might walk in, like, and that's just like one of the most basic things
Yeah,
that it teaches you. Like you just your brain just gets bigger, and you think about so many more things inside the game, and I think that's the main thing that Korea teaches you.
that's why
Like
my
you
head's
take away
so
from
big.
it.
After Korea, I came back. My head was huge. Toned with 3Ds asked, how many cheesy one tricks do you verse? Example, Maknoon. Have you played against so far in Korea?
I've played against the rank that like there's a couple Ignite Rengar one tricks in like D2, and they always ruin my day because I'll blind pick Jace, and then they just jump on my head and kill me level 1
Oh,
every game.
bro, I'll never forget this
It
one guy had Apple in his name, and
Yeah.
and he was a Rengar jungle one trick, and I just never beat him. I versed him like 6 times, and I just got pumped every time.
When I was in like Diamond 4, I played with this Kane 3 games in a row, and he would do like the Wraith red cheese where you start their Wraiths as they're doing red, and then you like kill the Wraith really fast, and then you take E level 2 and you E onto the red and you smite their red.
Oh, what
And
the
he
hell?
did it yeah,
I
because you
didn't
can
know
do
that.
their Wraiths really fast.
What the hell?
You get level 2, and then you skill E, and you E over the wall and you smite the red, and they're just doomed. The
Is
game's over.
is that
They can't do
100%?
anything. You can't like it depends on the champions. They have to have champions slow enough like that you can do it.
Okay, because like you could avoid wards and queue over like wall to like
Yeah.
to hug Wraith wall if that
Yeah, he
makes
does.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And he did it every game, and you just do that, and then you just like ward the ramp, and you walk into their blue side, and you do their blue side, and they can't play the game. They get their
That's
golems, and you get every other camp on the map.
guess I'm never playing Sejuani.
They literally take one camp, and you get like you get 5 of theirs and 6 of yours. It's actually
Yeah,
cooked.
nah, that doesn't sound fun. Toned asked again, have since reaching high elo, have you struggled against any top tier Korean players?
I mostly struggle against like randoms that are really good at like Akali or like something like that. Just like players that have 600 games on a champion that are just really good in lane. Every time I've played against, I haven't played against like many like elite players. I've played against like Tal. I've played against like Iksu, or sorry, Ursu. Like just
Didn't
like
you solo kill Rascal like 2, 3 games in a row?
oh yeah, no, I dumpstered Rascal like 4 games in a row.
Yeah,
But like all like the middling players aren't so good. So like they haven't impressed me. They make decent decisions about like their waves and actually play to the game state pretty well. You know,
yeah.
like when they start losing, they play for their teammates pretty well. But in terms of like pros, they haven't really impressed me so much. Like I mean, I'm also just a hard stuck 50 LP master player, so I don't get the elite. You know, I don't get the 1K LP challenges in my games yet. So they're like they're evidently a step above, but for most of the players I've been versing now, it hasn't been too eye opening.
Never too late for a win streak, mate. Last one. What's a champion Australians can't make work, but Koreans are monsters on?
Rise. That champion
Hang on a
top?
minute. What'd you say?
What?
That
Oh, sorry.
You said Australians can't play it?
Australians but Sinjubes.
Thank you. Keep
Alright.
going. Continue.
That champ is just ridiculous. It's so broken. Like, it's so bad because it doesn't do anything for a while, but then if you're good and you're 0-3, it doesn't matter. You in your lane anyways. Like, once he gets enough mana to use all his spells, he just runs really fast, does lots of damage, and never dies. And
Mm.
it's like this champ ruins you in the side lane, and then it 1v5s in the team fight. And like if the Rise is the better player, it's so hard to win the game if it gets to like 3 items.
Better player always wins.
He's just genuinely a 1v5 champion, but then in OS, you watch the Rise and they just click their buttons really
Smork
weirdly.
rise. Smork rise,
Yeah.
on first wave, and gets
They
no
just
pressure the rest of the game.
headbutt their keyboard and lose lane. I don't know. Like, but that champ just ruins me here. But I don't see it too often because not many people can play it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty ridiculous when you face like a good Rise.
Yeah. On that note, Jackson, your watch is done. I don't know. Isn't that what they say in Game of Thrones? I haven't watched it, but it's like
I haven't seen
your watch
any
has
what's
ended or something like. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. But before I let you go, Jackson, I'm just gonna throw everyone to the Gravitas EDM, where basically we we send out a fortnightly. In the off season it's fortnightly, during the season it's weekly. You go to gravitas.gg, sign up, you get these email, you get updates, you get like, oh, what's happening in the OCS, because that's what's hot right now. You get to notified about our partnerships and things like that. Yeah, it's good all around cool, man, to stay updated. And that's about it. He's talking about my rise. Prayless said, Prayless, you know what, buddy, you're in New Zealand at the moment. You are very far away from any server that you can play on. Um, but yeah, again, thanks for joining me, Jackson. Follow Jackson on Twitter. It is at PABUUUUUUU, and big Taylor Swift fan. Taylor Swift. If you're watching this, please follow Pabu on Twitter, on social media. And are you streaming or are you leaving?
I'm gonna go.
Oh, you're going? All right. No,
Yeah.
no dramas, my mans. Thanks again. Enjoy the games that you play tonight, and may the LP gods be with you.
Have a good night.
Bye bye.